The tugboat, for its size, is the most powerful craft afloat, and Captain Starr and his tugs are the power between the docks and the waterways that make up the big city port. This is Tugs. Tugs videos are available now from Castle Vision. Also on the Castle Vision label, the Raggy Dolls. And fun and adventure down on Tumbledown Farm. Historical documentaries with the Men of Our Time series, Falklands War, The Untold Story, drama, human legends, and Hollywood legends, and the very best of opera and ballet from the world's most renowned venues, just part of the superb range from Castle Vision.
I'm flying my new BMX helicopter.
Careful, Alex, you might hit your head.
Oh, well, Sparky, it's not as if he uses it much.
His head or the helicopter?
If he used his head, he wouldn't be trying to fly a bicycle. Alex, bikes are only built for riding.
Preposterous. They said people were only built for walking until this fellow invented something called a wheel. Now look how the human race gets around.
People drive cars, fly planes, sail boats, ride bikes and catch trains. Alex can't come up with something new.
New ways of transport are being invented all the time.
Old ways are being improved with new ideas. Oh, sure, like what? Like this.
Okay. On your marks. Oh. The green button, Alex.
Oh. Sorry.
Okay. On your marks. It's bright sparks.
Follow that nose.
The Lightning X2 is a human-powered vehicle capable of very high speeds.
Oh, come on, Sparky. It's just a bicycle with a cover over it. No, it's not. Look. Well, it's like a bicycle, except the seat's in a different place.
And it's made of very light materials. It only weighs half as much as Alex's bike.
It sure doesn't look like my bike. No, but it looks as silly as yours.
The cover may look silly, but it helps the bike to cut through the air and go very fast. It once got a speeding ticket from the California Highway Patrol, and it wins lots of races like this one in America.
Okay, so you can make a bike go faster, but you can't make it fly, Alex.
You can make it swim.
Oh, sure.
These racing shells used to be the fastest human-powered boats on water. Now this hydrofoil in America holds the record.
It looks like a bicycle on floats.
It is, but instead of the pedals turning a wheel, they turn a propeller under the water. As it gets faster, it actually raises itself out of the water on its hydrofoils.
What's a hydrofoil? Hydrofoil.
Hydrofoils are like wings. They push the bike up in the air so the water doesn't slow it down.
Oh, boat. That's unfair.
No, that's a hydrofoil. Boats have been around for ages and ages and ages and ages and...
Sparky!
But these new hydrofoils can make them go much faster.
I want a hydrofoil bike that can go on land, too. Oh, Alex, there's no such thing.
Ah, but they might have just what you're looking for in Australia. A hovercraft.
Where are the wheels?
It doesn't have any. It's just floating on a cushion of air.
I wish it could go on... Oh, no! Water! There are lots of different hovercrafts. This is great, Sparky. Can you show me how to make one? You couldn't make your bed, let alone a hovercraft. I could too. I'd even make one that went underwater. Hovercrafts float on air. They don't work underwater, stupid. You're stupid. I am not. You ought to prove it. Why should I? Alex?
Can we get on with it?
They must go to a funny school. Look at their uniforms. Oh, Alex, that's underwater gear. They're going diving, aren't they, Sparky?
Sort of. Actually, they're...
They're sinking. Look, they're sinking.
Calm down, Alex. It's a boat and a submarine. It's supposed to go underwater.
But if the engine gets wet, won't it just stop?
The motor's sealed, so water can't get in. Underwater, it's pushed by these side propellers.
Just like an underwater hovercraft, Amy. It's completely different, Alex. You're completely different. This boat can do everything.
And not everything. It can't dance.
Sparky boats don't dance.
I know one that does.
He's short-circuited. That's not dancing. That's just bobbing up and down.
It's practicing for when it gets into rough seas. It just changes its legs so that if the water does get rough, the boat will always feel smooth.
Ah, I get it. It's standing on the bottom of the ocean. Oh, Alex.
No, it's floating on these purple hulls under the water, away from the rough surface of the Pacific Ocean. By turning those tiny wings and flaps on the hulls, it can tilt to one side or the other side. Or both hulls go down in the water. Or one at a time, up and down, up and down.
Look, you can get right inside the underwater hull.
So you see, Amy, people have made some really
Sparky!
wonderful changes to boats.
They don't just sail on the water anymore. They can go over, under, and through the water, too. Very clever, Alex. But I'll stick to Sparky, thanks. So will I. Let's go.
On your marks, it's right.
Let's go. Oh, catch it, Sparky.
I'd have more hope of catching a curl.
Oh, robots don't catch coal.
They don't catch one of the world's fastest streetcars either. That was the Vector Twin Turbo.
Ah, look at that. Beautiful.
Oh, just gorgeous.
Wow! 5.7 V8 turbo intercooler with 600 to 1,000 horsepower.
Are you okay, Sparky?
I think he's trying to tell us it goes fast.
Fast. It goes nearly 250 miles per hour. That's 400 kilometers per hour. That's really, 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 really
Sparky!
fast.
It sounds really, really dangerous, too.
If you're looking for safety, Amy, I've got just the car for you. A Mercedes-Benz.
But it looks like it's going to crash!
Oh, wow! A head-on! And a side-on! Fantastic! Multiple rollovers! This is unreal!
What a waste!
No, Mercedes are crashing these cars in Germany to test their safety. The passenger compartment is very tough. See, it's not crumpling one bit, but everything around it is, absorbing the energy from the crash.
But look at that poor guy in the driver's seat. He's still getting thrown around.
Mercedes have designed this explosive-powered seatbelt. If you have a crash, the belt pulls tight and drags you back into your seat.
Ow! That looks like it hurts.
If you don't like the seatbelt, there's always the airbag.
Just think, Amy. A bag to match your head.
You want to try a test crash firsthand, Alex?
The airbag is molded into the middle of the steering wheel. If you crash, it pops out and catches you, so you don't smash your face on the steering wheel or the windscreen.
Sparky, I'm not planning on having an accident at all. I'm going to practice my driving in the simulator.
What's a simulator?
Simulator.
It looks like a walking saucepan.
Those legs can roll, tilt, tumble, gyrate and jiggle, so when you're inside it, it's just like driving a car on the road.
Sounds just like Amy dancing.
Oh, Alex.
With this simulator, you can check out the effects of alcohol on a driver, or see how safe it is to use a car phone while driving, and even put yourself in a traffic jam.
I wouldn't do that.
Don't worry about that, Alex. No one will ever let you behind a wheel anyway.
If Alex owned this truck, he wouldn't need to be behind the wheel. It drives itself.
Oh, sure, Sparky.
No, it does. It's driven by a computer, and it uses this video camera to see.
It's a bit too slow for me, Sparky.
No wonder, with all those wheels.
The 8 wheels don't slow it down, and they're wonderful if you don't want to get bogged. Take the Ponsin 3000, for example.
Hey, this is more my speed.
It has 8 wheels, and nothing slows it down. Add an outboard motor, and you can even go fishing. When you've caught a few fish, just add these caterpillar tracks and you'll really rip through the mud.
The Ponsin makes an ordinary truck like this look pretty boring. Oh.
Wow! Look at those wheels. They're huge.
You have to have them specially made. Each tire costs about the same as an ordinary car.
Wow! trying to catch up with the front wheels.
That's the four-wheel steering. It means the front wheels can steer one way, while the back wheels are steering another way. So you really have to watch where you're going.
It sure looks like fun.
I'd rather travel in Sparky any day.
Oh, are you kidding? With all these other...
Thanks very much.
Wow! A super modern, unreal future vehicle!
Oh, Alex, it's just a truck.
A very special truck.
Yes, Amy.
Ordinary trucks waste half their fuel on wind resistance, but the FEV 2000 in America only wastes a quarter of its fuel pushing through the air.
That's because it's so slippery.
Alex, so slippery.
So is this truck. You make it slippery by adding spoilers at the back and front, a fairing on the roof, side skirts which drop down on the road, panels between the cabin and the trailer, a fairing at the back of the truck.
And you get a fancy-looking truck, so what?
So, you get a truck that costs only 2/3 as much to run as a normal truck.
If every truck was slippery, you'd save lots of fuel and lots of money.
One little idea can make all the difference.
They had the hands of a man under their wings on their four sides.
Why
And their
is this
four
man
had
reading
their
the
faces
Bible?
and their wings.
Because that's where he got his one little idea, from a passage in the Bible.
And they four had one likeness, and their appearance and their work was, as it were, a wheel in the middle of a wheel.
It described a wheel within a wheel, so he decided to build it.
A wheel is a wheel, Sparky. You can't do anything new to a wheel.
Yes, you can. This man in Australia did.
It goes both ways at the same time.
Alex, that's not impossible.
Wheels?
This train hasn't got any wheels.
Oh, sure, Sparky. It just scrapes itself down the track.
No, it floats on a magnetic field.
What's a magnetic field?
Magnetic field?
See how one magnet pushes the other magnet away from it? Well, pretend the train is one magnet and the track is another. The track is constantly pushing the train away, so it's kind of floating.
Gee, it floats fast. They should use these trains everywhere.
Oh, they can't. It needs a special track like the one here in West Germany. But you can use this train on an ordinary track. It goes very fast too.
Ooh, it's leaning over when it goes around corners.
Oh, Alex, if it didn't lean over like that, it'd go crashing off the tracks.
Yes, ordinary trains can't go so fast because they can't lean over. But on this train, special cylinders tilt it to one side or the other as it goes round a corner.
Ah! Oh, oh.
Sparky, let's get out of here.
That's a mean-looking machine.
That's the American SR-71, one of the world's fastest planes. It can fly faster than a bullet.
Oh, it's leaking.
Alex, the world's fastest plane doesn't leak.
Yes, it does.
Well, why don't they fix it?
When the plane gets to top speed, it gets so hot that everything expands, even the fuel tanks. So if the fuel tanks are going to fit the plane when it's hot, they have to be loose and leaky when it's cold.
Boy, it must get really hot up there.
So hot that the pilots wear special spacesuits, and if they touch the windscreens, they can burn through their spacesuits. And that's hot. That's really hot. That's really, 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 really hot. Each engine produces as much power as an ocean liner.
So fast. How do you stop it?
Fly it into a mountain.
Oh, Alex.
That's one way, Alex. A simpler method is to use a parachute to slow it down.
That must be the meanest mean machine in the air.
Let's find something friendlier, Sparky. Oh, what is that?
That's your own personal flying platform, Amy. You just lean in the direction you want to travel, and it will take you there.
Oh, it's magic!
No, it's a mini fan jet engine.
Oh, it's nearly as good as having your own Sparky.
I beg your pardon?
Who said that? Did I say that?
Toy helicopter.
That's no toy, Alex. Inside, it has a small television camera. It's a Sprite helicopter.
Where does the driver sit?
There is no driver. You control it from the ground. The camera sends pictures back to the control vehicle.
So you can see what's going on without having to be there.
You mean it's a spy helicopter?
Exactly.
Wow! Here's the tilt rotor XV-15.
Oh, Alex, you made that up.
I did not.
That is the tilt rotor XV-15, Amy.
Yes, Amy. It's a cross between a helicopter and a plane.
So this is where you got the idea to cross your bike with a helicopter?
Yes. It takes off like a helicopter, but it flies like a plane. And when you're finished with it, it folds away. Just like my BMX chopper.
Oh, Alex, you're not still trying to fly that thing.
No, I'm turning it into an excavator, and I'm going to drill a hole to China.
Oh, I give up.
Amy, you've seen floating bikes, underwater boats, trucks without drivers, trains without tracks, cars that become boats, and planes that become helicopters. How do you know that Alex can't build a bike that drills?
Because it's crazy, Sparky, that's why.
You're crazy.
I am not.
You are too.
Oh, grow up!
Make me.
Alex!
Amy!
Where are you going?
Home, but I'll be back. Goodbye.
Goodbye!
Oh, he was wonderful, Amy. He was really, 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 really...
Alex!
Stupendous.
Just look me in the eye, press me here, and you'll see why. Should they do it one right? Hey, look, he's out of sight. Let me show you how I'm here. A wonderful world of new ideas. On the rocks, bright spots, bright spots, bright spots, bright spots, bright spots.
All hands on deck! Man overboard! Lower the lifeboats! Captain, we're sinking! Oh no! Help! Help!
There, now you're on dry land.
Oh, Sparky! You just kicked over the entire Pacific Ocean.
Sorry. I'm so sorry, Alex.
It was just a bucket of water. Who cares?
Well, you should.
Why? You tipped it over?
Everyone should care, because water is important.
Sparky, water just sits there being wet. It's not important.
Preposterous. Water keeps you alive. It gives you food. It's in everything you drink. It keeps you clean. In fact, over 2/3 of your body is water, Amy.
Oh, sure.
It's true. Water is everywhere. So what we do to it and how we use it is very important.
Yes, Amy. So next time, don't make fun of my ocean.
Next time, you'll end up in it.
Just try.
Come on. On your marks. Oh. The green button, Alex.
Oh. Sorry.
Okay. On your marks. It's Bright Sparks.
Wow! What planet is that?
Planet Earth.
Actually, it should be called Planet Water. Earth is about 2/3 covered with water. That's why it looks so blue from here.
There must be millions of swimming pools down there.
Oh, Alex, it's blue from all the oceans. Isn't it, Sparky?
And the rivers. And the seas.
So what's the big deal about water, Sparky? There's obviously plenty of it.
Amy, you live in a big city in a wealthy country, so you get water just by turning on a tap. But only 1 in 10 people are like you.
1 in 10? Nobody's like Amy.
Most of the world must work very hard to get good, clean drinking water.
Oh, that's too much work for me. I just settle for milk instead.
You need water to grow grass to feed the cow to get the milk.
Well, thank you, Professor.
Each day, every person uses about 330 liters of water. That's about 30 of Alex's buckets.
30 buckets of water?
Oh, get real, Sparky. That's just greedy people.
No, ordinary people use 9 buckets to flush toilets, 12 buckets to wash bodies, clothes, and dishes, 10 buckets for swimming pools and watering the garden. Altogether, that's 30 buckets of water. And you're right about one thing, Amy. It is greedy when you think that all the water you need for a day is in just 1 bucket.
A brown ocean.
Oh, it's a river.
It's the Amazon River in Brazil. It has lots more water than any other river in the world. And that's big. That's really, 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 really
Sparky!
big. By itself, it can supply all the people in the world with all the water they need.
The world doesn't live on the banks of the Amazon River.
Yes, that's the problem. In Egypt, almost everyone lives along the banks of the Nile River.
Well, at least they don't have a problem.
They have a different problem. The population of Egypt increases by 1 million people every 9 months.
Wow! Think of all the buckets of water they must go through.
Exactly. Every year, more and more water is used up. Even their mighty Aswan Dam is clogging up with dirt, and more rich farming land is being taken up by desert.
These people have plenty of water.
Yes, but they can't drink it.
Why? Are their lips stuck together?
No, the water's polluted. For years, the city people who lived at the other end of Lake Titicaca in Brazil have dumped their rubbish and sewerage into it, so now they can't use the water.
Oh, this man ran out of water a long time ago.
At least 400 years ago. That's the last time it rained here.
400 years? Oh, sure, Sparky.
The Atacama Desert is not only the driest place in Chile, it's the driest place on Earth.
If the world ran out of water, I guess this is what it'd look like.
Very hot and very boring. Let's go get a drink. You can't drink seawater. It's too salty.
Yes, but there's no salt in ice. Just wait for a bit to melt, then drink it.
Where's the ice?
Oh, the penguins are trainee waiters and they're going to bring you some. You're standing on it, Alex.
Oh,
This is Antarctica, Alex. It's made of ice. There's enough clean, frozen water here to provide billions of people with all the water they need.
Oh, it's a long way to come for a drink, Sparky.
Yes, but you could tow an iceberg to a city where water was needed.
Oh, it'd melt before it got there.
These icebergs are so big it doesn't matter if a bit melts on the way. There'd still be lots left when it arrived.
so if things get really bad, we can start drinking the Antarctic.
Antarctic. Oh, Sparky, let's get out of here before your circuits freeze over.
Okay.
Underwater. Oh, what a great trick, Sparky.
Thank you. It's not easy, you know. Humans have been trying to do it for years. This little diving bell can go up to 6 kilometers below the surface. That's about 4 miles, and that's deep. That's really
Sparky!
deep. And it can stay there for up to 5 days.
You could have great parties down here
It only fits 3 people.
with just a few close friends.
This is much better for parties, Alex. The world's largest tourist submarine. It takes people underwater in the Virgin Islands.
I could have a really big party here. I'd even invite Amy.
Ugh, I'd rather be by myself.
Oh, then I've got just the thing for you. Big Jim.
Big Jim, a boyfriend for Amy.
Oh, Alex, it's a diving suit.
That's about the only type of boyfriend she could get.
Why, you little...
Yeah.
Perhaps I should get you one of these each. Deep Rover.
Perfect. It only fits one person.
Oh, what? No room for Big Jim?
Alex! That's not Deep Rover.
No, it's Alvin.
Is, he a friend of Big Jim's?
Alex!
Alvin is the bravest and brightest of all the submarines. He's discovered things no one ever knew about the ocean.
Like hidden treasures?
Yes.
Pearls and diamonds?
No, plants and fish.
Oh, hooray for Alvin. Big deal, Sparky.
It is a big deal, Amy. These are the only plants and animals on the entire planet that can live without sunlight.
Look! A white crab!
He's blind, too.
Oh, poor crab.
There's no sunlight. He couldn't see anything anyway.
Well, he's really missing out on something. It's wonderful down here. Oh, they're the strangest creatures I've ever seen. Oh, this is scary, Sparky. Where are we?
Holland.
Well, let's get out of here.
We're okay in Sparky.
A long time ago, this whole country was flooded by a huge storm, and
How could a whole country be flooded?
it's easy when nearly half of it is below the level of the sea.
Look, they're driving under a river. Let's go swimming with them.
Oh, Alex.
You're just worried because they're all boys.
Alex!
Where was I? When it was flooded, thousands of people lost their homes. The Dutch promised themselves that it would never happen again, so they designed these giant gates to block off the ocean in times of storm.
Oh, you can't block off the ocean. It's too powerful.
You can if you build gates like these. They hang from giant towers as tall as a 13-story building. The giant towers sit on huge mats, so they don't rock back and forwards like this when they're hit by big waves. They even built special ships to tow the giant towers out to sea. And on top of the piers, they put roads and train lines.
No, you wouldn't catch me dead out there.
The same huge storm that caused those floods in Holland also caused these floods in London.
Those people should move to Holland and live behind the floodgates.
That wasn't necessary, Alex. To protect themselves from flooding, the English built their own flood barrier across the River Thames. 10 enormous steel gates.
Oh, they look like spaceships.
I don't like water.
Why?
Because it hurts people, and everyone has to go to so much trouble to protect themselves from it.
Like all powerful things, water can harm you, but it can also help you. In Norway, they use the power of the waves to create electricity with an oscillating water column.
What's an oscillating?
Oscillating. An oscillating water column.
Yeah. What's that?
Waves enter the bottom of this steel cylinder and push the air up and down. The air turns a fan which generates electricity.
So, you can use wave power to make electricity.
You can use tide power as well.
How can power be tired?
Not tired, tide.
Tied up with what?
Not tied up, tide.
Oh, he short-circuited.
Oh, look. In some bays in the world, the level of the water at high tide is...
Oh, tide! tide.
Humans can be so confusing. In some bays, the level of water at high tide is very different from the level of water at low tide.
Yes, look how far the boat is from the house.
The change in tide forces the water through the turbines, and as the turbines spin, they make electricity. It's simple. All you need is a big difference between high and low tide.
But Sparky, there must be only a few bays in the world with such a big tide difference.
True, but there is another system you could use elsewhere. It's called Dam Atoll.
Dan who?
Not Dan Dam.
Oh.
It's called dam because it sticks up out of the water and sort of blocks the water. And it's called an atoll because it's a little round area in the water. When the waves hit, the water rushes up to the top of the atoll and then falls into the central column and makes electricity.
Oh, there sure are lots of ideas for making power from water.
We can get more than just energy from the water. We can also get,
Oil and gas.
yes, and this.
A burnt potato?
No, a manganese nodule.
Oh, what's a manganese, manganese? Oh, what's that?
It's a ball of metal that's taken millions of years to form around something on the ocean floor.
That looks like a shark tooth.
It is. This particular nodule has formed around a shark's tooth, but they can form around anything, and they're spread all over the ocean floors.
That's thrilling, Sparky.
It is. You need them to build things like jet engines.
Oh, a lot of good they'll do down there.
You could vacuum them up.
Alex, you're a genius.
Actually, that's a very good idea, Alex. Right now, they're working on a giant vacuum to suck nodules off the ocean floor.
Oh, come on.
You might prefer the Japanese plan, Amy, to run a conveyor belt between two ships and scoop up the nodules from the ocean floor. That's the Glomar Challenger. It cost $100 million to build, and they're going to use it to collect nodules through this central pool.
Wow, you could have the world's biggest pool party here.
It's large enough to hold a Concorde jet.
Oh, what every pool needs. A Concorde jet. Let's go, Sparky.
Okay, okay. As well as power and minerals, water offers another wonderful gift. Food.
Oh, I love fish and chips.
I believe seaweed is delicious.
Oh, yuck.
Oh, that's truly gross. Sparky, they're not going to eat that, are they?
Yes, and it's very good for you. Packed with protein.
Ugh. I don't care what it's packed with.
They don't eat it like that. You'd be surprised how tasty it is when it's dried and processed. Well, at least these people in Korea think so.
Well, I might try some.
I'm sticking to my fish and chips.
Fishermen in Taiwan catch millions of fish each year without ever leaving the harbor.
How? Lots of very long fishing lines.
Oh, Alex.
No, fish farms.
Sheep and cows live on farms, Sparky, not fish.
They grow their fish on fish farms, 120 ponds full of all different types of fish.
Oh, Alex, it's a prawn.
Yes, they grow prawns here in Tahiti from when they are tiny
Sparky!
babies until they get bigger and bigger and bigger and
Sparky!
finally they're big enough to eat. Soon, water will not only be providing us with things to eat, but somewhere to eat them as well. As the big cities get more and more crowded, the human race may need to move into floating cities.
Fantastic!
In Japan, they've already built a floating city called Aquapolis. It's designed to squat down into the water if really bad storms come. There are lots of different designs for living on and under the sea. Water is everywhere, in the oceans and the rivers, in the air, even in people. It gives life and keeps you alive, so it's important not to waste water or spoil it with pollution. Water is a wonderful gift to be used and enjoyed and shared by everybody.
I hope you're not wasting water, Alex.
I thought you said water wasn't important.
Oh, Alex, you're practically made of water. It provides you with food, power, and minerals. One day, you might even be living in the water. It's too precious to waste.
Don't worry, Amy. As soon as I wash my hands in this, I'll make you a cup of tea with it.
Alex, that's so revolting.
You're so revolting.
You've got water on the brain.
At least I've got a brain.
Ha! It drowned a long time ago.
Oh, what would you know?
Alex!
Amy!
Where are you going?
Home, but I'll be back. Goodbye.
Goodbye! Oh, he was wonderful, Amy. He was really, 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 really...
Alex!
Extra watery.
Extraordinary, Alex.
Bright spots.